Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs, and I'm back with week 11 of the Slow Stitch with K3N. And this week's project is Kawandi. And Kawandi is a craft tradition of the City people in West India. And Kawandi means quilt. So we are going to be creating a little Kawandi piece, which is a little quilt in the tradition inspired by the city people. And it's not totally exactly a Kawandi piece because K3N put her own twist on it, but it will be inspired by Kawandi. So I'm going to try to recreate a piece here for my journal according to how she showed us in her video, and I will link Catherine's video below, K3N, so you can go and watch her explain all about it and how she does it. But I'm going to try to show you what my version is. And these little squares here are to make fulas. And fula means flower. And these little fulas or flowers are going to go on each corner of this Kawandi piece, because the city people say if you don't have fulas on your piece will be naked. So we have to put these little flowers on there. And this is all made from little scraps of material. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to try to do it the way K3N showed us. You just take little pieces of your fabric, and you can cut triangles or rectangles or squares, whatever you feel you want to do. And what she did and what I did was I ironed down a little border here of about 1/4 of an inch, turned in, and then I'm going to fold each piece to match that border right there. And then I'm going to stitch that down, and I'm going to leave a space on each corner to put my fula in. So I'm going to start at this corner. I've got this piece folded down. I'm going to have to also remember on the corner piece, fold this corner down. So if you're on the corner, you have to fold the top down and the side down. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can go watch Catherine's video. Hers for sure makes sense. And I'm not going to pin it, but I'm going to try to hold it right there at the top. Excuse me. I have a needle threaded with 2 strands of embroidery floss. I chose gold because I had a lot of this gold thread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to leave a little space here on the corner so I can attach my fula when I come back here. And I'm going to go under, hide my knot, and I'm going to take just running stitches. First I'm going to do a stab stitch, and of course my thread's really long. Seems to be my forte. Oops. And I'm just going to make a couple of stitches, little stitches, just to hold this down. And then we're ready for our next piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to attach pieces all the way around the border, and then you go into the middle. And this is how they make their little Kawandi from the outside in. So I'm just using my little stash of fabric pieces here. I'll just pick another one randomly. I'll pick this one and try to make them as small as I can. I'd like to get 3 on the top there if I could. Like this one now. Let's try to find a smaller one. Little. I want something contrasty. Ah, little green one. So I'll just cut this little green one. And on this one, I just fold the top down because I lay it over this first piece. I match it up to the top. And my next stitch goes into that new piece there. And I take a couple of little stitches and then we'll attach our next piece and oops, I don't want to get no knots in there. Take one more stitch. And then we'll attach our fula in this corner, our first fula. Okay. So now this piece I will have to fold on the top and the side and have enough to come over here. So let's see. Fold it down. I can cut it right about here. And I'll just even this off. And bring that up to the top. Gets folded down enough. And we'll put a couple of stitches in this. This needle is, I don't know if it's dull or what, but it doesn't seem to want to go through this fabric very well. Fabric isn't that thick. So I'm thinking it must be the needle. Okay. Now we're to the corner. And I'm going to have to hold my fold down and get my fula underneath there to put it in the corner. So let's see how this is going to work. Fold it. These are just little squares, like 1.5 inch squares. Just folding them over and over again. They're kind of slippery because they're silk. And they're really tiny. Okay, hopefully this is gonna work. Let's see. Just stick it in the corner like that. I don't know if you can see that. Take my needle and hopefully it's gonna go down through there. Catching it right on the corner, coming back up through there. And back through there, keeping my fingers out of the way. Ooh, it does not want to go through there. I think I'm going to have to change needles. Okay, well, I got the fula on. And it's stitched in there good. It's not going to come out. Okay. So now we can continue down this side. With another little piece. Let's see what we have in this. Okay, I think I'll use this yellow one. And Catherine does it, you know, it looks so easy. But reality, it is easy, but it's just a little awkward when you're first starting out. It really isn't that difficult once you get going. It's just the corners when you gotta put the fulas in are a little tricky. Okay, so I've got going down the side now. I just need to fold on the top. I need to fold on the sides only when I'm at the corner. And I'm overlapping this piece a little bit. And matching up the sides. And coming in couple of stitches. Stitch this piece down. Oops. Caught here. Got caught on my foulard. And behind, Catherine just posted week 12, and I'm just doing week 11 because I was gone to my granddaughter's wedding. And I got back last Thursday, but I was just so worn out that it took me quite a few days to recover because it was a quick trip and, you know, a lot of activity going on, a lot of walking. And so I was quite wore out by the time I got back. So it took a few days to recover, and I got behind on all my art. But the wedding was really fun. It was very beautiful, and we all had a great time. And I enjoyed seeing Las Vegas. I'd never been there before. There was a lot to see in the short time we were there. So I'm very, very glad I went, but I was very, very glad to get home too. All right, so I'm attaching another piece now. Just slapping it over the last piece. And continuing on. Oh, I hope I'm continuing on. My thread just came out of my needle. Wasn't paying attention. Thread got short, I guess. See, I can just rethread it easily. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Just take a couple more stitches and then I'll attach another piece and we'll be at the corner. Okay, now I'm going to attach a corner piece and put another foulard on. Some of these pieces are really small. This looks like a nice one. Little hearts on it. Okay, let's do this. Here. And it'll be what there. have to fold the top and the side down and hold it. Take a couple stitches and then we'll put another fool in. Okay. See if I can get another fula in there. I think this is really a fun project because if it goes well, I'm hoping to make a bigger one as a table centerpiece. Because it's a great way to use up scraps. And I think it's a really beautiful once it's done. And I like the idea of these little fula flowers on each corner. Okay, let's see if we can do this again. That little fula in there. And just do a stab stitch and come back up through, catching one side of it, down the middle, and back up through this side. And we got it done. Another little fula. Hope you can see this okay. And now I'm going to take just one more stitch. And then I'll attach another piece. So we're just going to keep going around the outside. Attaching pieces till we get all the way around. I'll use this green one. And then I will show you what we have to do for the middle. So I'm just going to continue around the outside here, attach my other two fulas, and then when I get that done, I'll be back to show you what we're going to do in the middle. Okay, I'm back. I've got all the sides stitched down, all the fulas are in. This fula got pushed in a little too far. I guess he's a little smaller than the others, but looks pretty good to me for a first time stitcher of a Kawandi. There's the back. And now we need to open these up. And we need to put a little piece of material inside here and then stitch down the rest of our little squares. So I've got a little piece somewhere. What did I do with it? I think this is it right here. Got another little piece of muslin here. I'm going to just lay inside here. And just lay that down and put these down over it. This one's a little short. That's okay. It'll get covered up. Okay, now we do another stitch, I believe. Another stitch all the way around. And then we lay some more squares down. So I have to get another piece of thread in my needle. And I do have 2 strands of embroidery floss. Hopefully I can thread this one easily. Go through there. Yay. Tie my knot. And we'll be in business. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, what Catherine said, the city people, they measure their stitches with their thumb. But since that would be kind of large, I think, for this little piece, I'm just going to do probably 1/4 of an inch in from this first line of stitches, and just stitch straight around and back up again, and then I'll add some more pieces. So I'm going to go in here somewhere at 1/4 of an inch from this first line of stitching, and just do some running stitches all the way around, trying to keep it straight and in line with that first row of stitches. And hopefully I will. So far, so good. So I hope everyone's enjoying this video so far. It's just a beginner video, you know. I'm just a beginner. And it's the first time I've ever done a Kawandi. And so I'm learning just like some of you are. But I hope I'm inspiring you to at least give it a try and see how you can do with it, because it's fun to learn new things. And it's fun to learn about other cultures and how they create things. And it's fun to use up your scraps. And it's just fun to stitch. And I haven't stitched for about a week, so I was really missing it. And I did get behind in some of my projects, but I had to go see my granddaughter get married. And I'm so glad it all went well, and it was a lot of fun. I got to see the Bellagio fountains in Vegas, which were beautiful. I don't know if any of you have ever seen them, but they're really amazing. Beautiful sight to see. So that was a treat. The hotel we stayed at was very beautiful and nice. And all the people I met out there were very friendly and helpful. So it was just a nice time. I thought I had a knot there, but I guess I didn't. Okay. So far, so good. So I've noticed I have a lot of new subscribers to my channel, and I really want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Really appreciate you subscribing. I really appreciate all the likes and comments on my videos. I just love hearing your thoughts and comments. And I love that I might be inspiring some people to give slow stitching a try, especially if you haven't tried it before. So we're coming around now to the last side here. And then I'm going to start adding some more pieces. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I watched Catherine's video twice, just to make sure that I knew what I was supposed to do. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it right. And she did post her week 12 video, which sounds really, really fun, and I really want to try that one. So I'm trying to get this project completed so I can start week 12. So I'll give you a heads up that you really need to come and watch my week 12 video, because that's going to be a really fun one. Okay. Lay down right. Okay, now we can add some little pieces here in the middle. Not really sure if I'm gonna add quite a few or just a couple. I do want to add quite a few, but don't have a whole lot of room. I made this piece small because it has to fit in my journal. So I might get 3 pieces in here. Let's see what I've got here. All these little scraps. Maybe 3 pieces. how this fits. Okay, put that one there. This one here. This one. This one down here. That would complete it. I think it would look nice. What do you think? If I can come in a little closer. I think that would look good. So what I need to do is, I'm not going to turn the corners because I don't have to. They're not outside edges. But I could tuck them under. See how they look tucked under. I think I will tuck them under. I think that looks really nice tucked under. And then this one. Tucked under. And this one. This one might have to go over because this piece on the bottom is very tiny and I can't tuck it under that. So this one I guess is going to have to see. So that one's going to have to go over. Tuck it under there. No, that wouldn't work. It's gonna have to go over. That'll be okay. I'm just gonna stitch those down that way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another round. I think it's gonna come right on these edges. Let's see how that works. I have to start, where is my last stitch? Right down here. Right here. And in there. Now I have to go in 1/4 of an inch from the side and down 1/4 of an inch from the top. So I think right about there should work. And we'll just go around that way and hope it's right. I'm gonna have to stop for a minute and go shut off my heater. It's getting quite warm in this room. And I've got a sweater on. And it looks like I got a knot. Oh, knots. Uh-oh. Knots, go away. Where it it's caught there. Yay, I got it loose. Okay, I'm gonna pause this and go shut off my heater, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Shut off the heater. It was just getting too warm in here. Our weather here has been very beautiful during the day. It's been in the 70s for like the last 3 days. But then at night it cools off. So I was running the heater a little bit. And that was another reason why I got behind on my art, was because it was so warm outside that I couldn't resist being outside working in my yard. I got my patio all cleaned off and got all my yard cleaned up from the winter. Oh yeah, today was the first day of spring here in the Pacific Northwest, USA. It's our first day of spring. And that's March 19th, which I always thought spring came on March 21st, but I guess it came early this year. Because the calendar says today is the first day of spring. And the weather cooperated because it was about, I think it got up to 67 degrees, which was very nice. Whoops. My piece popped out of there. I gotta put that back on there. That has to go down right there. Glad I noticed that because I was starting to stitch and it wasn't there. No, it's covering up my stitches there. I don't know if that matters or not. Oh well. Hopefully it doesn't. But I think I didn't stay within 1/4 of an inch on this stitching. Right down there anyway. Come on. There we go. Do any of you talk to your thread? That's what I'm doing. Talking to my thread needle like I talk to my computer. Okay, I'm on my next round. I think it's got to go right here. And there. There. trying to keep it even, but I don't know. All I can do is try. And hope for the best. Hope that they all get stitched down. Uh-oh. Thread came out of the needle again. Gonna have to get some more thread pretty soon. Oops. I'm gonna snip that off. So it goes in easier. Oh, it's not cooperating. Come on. Go in there. I don't want to use the needle threader. Thread keeps separating. It doesn't want to stay together and go through the needle. Guess I'm going to have to use the needle threader. It's one of those times that just doesn't want to cooperate. All right, back in business. Go do a few more stitches and then I'm going to have to get some more thread. Well, it doesn't look too bad on the back. Here's my stitches on the back. It doesn't look too bad. I can't tell too much on the front here. But I'm gonna rethread my needle and finish stitching, and then I will be back to show you the next step. Okay, I'm back, and I stitched down as best as I could. this is the back. I don't think I did it properly, but at least I tried. And my apologies to the city people. I really respect your tradition, and I really tried to make a Kawandi as best as I could. I will try again, but I'm sorry I couldn't do it correctly, but it was fun to try, and I know your work is beautiful, and I'm grateful that I could have the opportunity to try to create a Kawandi according to your tradition. And the little thing that is left to do on this is, if you want to, the city people make a few grain stitches in the middle. They're to represent rice, and rice means that no one will go hungry. That's what it symbolizes. They stitch in a few grains of rice in the middle. They're called granitos, and they're included to wish the recipient of the quilt the freedom from hunger. So the way Catherine showed us how we could stitch some little grains of rice was to make seed stitches and then just kind of embellish them. So I do have a little stitch here that I'm going to come up, and on each side of that little seed stitch, just off to the side, I'm going to make another stitch on the right, and then come back up in that same hole. Make another stitch to the left, just to the left. And that's to represent a little grain of rice. Just gonna do one more because I didn't get that properly correct. So I'm just gonna do a few of those in the middle just to symbolize the grains of rice, or what they call granitos. Let's see, I'm going to do another one right here. I think this tradition has very beautiful symbols in it, like the fulas are flowers, and grains of rice represent no hunger, and using scraps to create something beautiful. It just has some really great thoughts in it. So I really enjoyed trying my hand at this, even though I didn't do it exactly like it was supposed to be done. I'm glad that I could give it a try, and I hope you will give it a try too. And see what you can create with just little scraps of yarn, or little scraps of fabric and some yarn. You might be surprised. You might create something really beautiful. I think this is beautiful, even though it isn't totally correct. It's still beautiful, and I'm going to be happy to put it in my journal. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're inspired. Give me a thumbs up like if you enjoyed it. I appreciate a comment, and I appreciate you sharing this video with anyone else that you might feel would enjoy watching it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, because I'm going to be here soon with week 12. It's going to be an exciting video, so you don't want to miss that. And I hope you have a great night and hope to see you again soon.